So it's my NRL Fantasy best buys of the week. I separate them into two videos, guys. All the players that you might be looking to purchase in your side this week. And then the second video will be all the holds and potential sells. Let's kick it off with the who's hot and who's not. We see Dylan Egan coming into a lot of sides. And yes, great idea. For feeder, very high as well, 3.39. Look, with 3 trades being available, I think this is a fairly low numbers. So come on, rookie numbers. Let's get them up. Campbell, Savala, Kartonga, Couchman, Gray, and Stafford Tower all above the 1 mark there. So pretty interesting on that. The who's not list, Arthur's, Ponga is being sold along with Seyfarth, Yongi, Sandon Smith, and Mark Nwangani Tawaze, and Rob Toya all above 1%. I personally would be holding Marky Boy this week. I think he plays well. Rob Toya, I think, could have a good one as well. Watson leaving almost 1% of sides is pretty interesting as well, and Hopgood. For Hopgood and Watson to be being sold by the same amount of teams seems pretty wild. Yes, Watson's had a couple of low ones, 47 and 44, but we know this year he can actually score really well. So let's get to some of our buys, somewhat from highest price to lowest price, if you want to skip through and check things out. But Isaiah Yeo at 812k, he's back in business, averaging 61.7, but still priced under that number, which is pretty good. And we know that he was a 64.8 guy last year. The question's going to be, come round 11, when he misses 11 and 12, is he going to be a sell for you? And if the answer is yes or maybe, then don't buy him. I think it's as simple as that. But outside of that, his scoring's been awesome. He's hit under 60 once and it was at 30. So if you take that out, he's well into the mid-60s to high 60s average and will be a great scorer going forward. I'm glad to own him right now, and I potentially will be selling him in round 11 myself. So yeah, you can work that one out as to what you want to do with it. Campbell, 780k. He's priced at 58, but he's scoring incredibly at 62.6. The team was terrible last week, and he still dropped a 76. The goals are there. Yes, they aren't playing great, but he's tackling really well. That was at 22 for 1 last week. He finally ran the footy for 107 run meters there. And when I say ran the footy, he ran in positions where he could get tackle breaks. He was looking to offload the footy, that type of stuff as well. So 10 tackle breaks. His third highest kicking meters of the year at over 500. So if you can have 500 kick meters, 100 run meters, and tackle pretty well, you're going to get good scores. And in the terribly tough wing fullback position, I think Campbell should be in the majority of sides and won't play Origin. Has already had 1 bye. Yes, he misses 12 and 18, but he plays all those important ones through the middle in 2 tough positions right now in half and in fullback. Speaking of someone who scores well in a tough position, Latrell Mitchell, you can just guarantee that he's going to score pretty well. If he plays the 80 minutes with those type of kick meters, it's just going to be a decent score. And we aren't seeing him tackle too much, so surely a team actually runs at him. He hasn't scored a try as yet. He's had a couple of tries this last week. He had 0 tackle breaks, so hardly ran the footy, and only 1 offload. And we know those numbers are rookie numbers as well, and he could improve on that dramatically. So Latrell Mitchell, if you have the cash this week, I think he's a really fun purchase, although the next 2 weeks are Canterbury, and it is Melbourne Storm. So it's a tough little stretch, but it is Latrell Mitchell, and he's fairly bulletproof in terms of matchups. Joe Tarpanay, 767k. He has been spectacular the last 3 weeks for him. 61, 86, and 67. And he has got 2 tries, 2 line breaks, and a try assist in that time. We know that this can be part of his game sometimes, but you can also go back to the traditional 50-odd points, 51 average, that type of stuff in 50-odd minutes, getting a point a minute. Over his career is a 0.89. And last year, when we're looking at his PPM as well, in 2024, it was at 1 exactly. So if he is a mid-50s minutes guy, then he's probably slightly overpriced. We usually want to buy Tarpanay when he is a bit cheaper. So that's probably something to think about if you are looking at him. You're buying him at a 57, so you're buying him at a premium. Given 2024, he averaged 53.7, and in 2023, he also averaged 53.6. So you're buying him above that number. Is he a markedly better player this year? Probably not. So tough one. I'm personally going to wait a bit longer, closer to these matchups here, around 10, 11, 12, to sort out my mids for round 12. Will you do the same? It's completely up to you. You may be going better than me. You may not be. We don't know. Adam Finnell-Blake. Unfortunately, just copped a bit of a knock, a bit of an injury last week, it looks like, with his quad and played 42 minutes, but 47 points. He offloaded the footy this time. He hadn't done that really all year, with one being his highest. Ran the footy for 110 metres. It's just the minutes that was the issue last week. And look, if you don't own, I think that you can wait another week or so, given the slightly lower score, the break-even's a bit higher. Make sure his quad's all good, and if he's sweet to go, then he plays around 12-15 and has the buy in 13, which I think a lot of our top mids are actually going to be back and available for 13, so yeah, you probably don't need him exactly. Preston, 732k, what an absolute jet. And as I said in the team list video, make sure you do go check out my reaction and yeah, my thoughts on a lot of the players there initially. But he's been overshadowed by Dave Fafita there with, you know, the price for one, but his ability to hit a 90. And Preston's been super consistent, hitting 50 plus with a 77 in there in each of the last 4 games. Is this something that he can continue? I think so. With him going back to the right, how's that going to go? I think he'll still be really, really solid. And a 732k is priced at 54. So I think if you're looking for an edge this week, then Fafita would be the play. If you're looking for an edge long term, someone you can hold for the rest of the season, then Preston is that guy. Knowing what you're going to get out of him, and plays round 12 and plays round 15. So very important rounds, as we know. Toby Couchman, 692k for him. He's priced at 51 now, so he's up 3 price points, and it's still well under what he's averaging. And he's played 5 games now, and he continues to be an absolute jet. 69 in back-to-back weeks, but it took him 18 less minutes in the one on the weekend, having, you know, ending up with 4 offloads, 3 tackle breaks, which if you can play anywhere over 50 minutes and have that type of output, which we've seen the last 2 weeks, then he's going to be a 60 guy. If the offloads do drop, then he's probably sits in the mid-50s, and it's still a mid-50s mid/edge keeper. In a team that has already had 1 bye. Does miss round 12, yes, but he plays the first minor bye, round 15, that second major one, a third major, and then also plays the rest of the season from there. So Couchman, really fun guy to look at, and yeah, should be considered. But the question's going to be, do you need improvement in half in wing fullback? And if the answer is yes, then maybe you avoid someone like Toby Couchman, who doesn't help you in round 12, which is something we do need to look at. And make sure you have checked out. Turns out, you know, Nicky ended up, you know, slotting in for Matt. We will have Mitch back the following week, which will be awesome. And Nicky will move back to his normal slot, but I hope you did enjoy his video, and then Nate and also Heath's video and the impact there. And then you'll be able to have checked out Scoop's video as well, which is going to be awesome. But Big Fogs, 704k for him, priced at 52, averaging 54. A great spot, a great consistent player. Like clockwork, on the weekend it was 7 goals, 1 try assist. He didn't have to have the tackles like I spoke about the week before. If they smack a team, he's going to be involved in some type of try assist, but they spread the ball well. Guys like Hudson Young really get involved, and kick meters drop down. So depending on the week, he's going to get the base stats in some way with the goals and with the 1 try assist. A guy that you can have on your side, not stress about, plays all the way through to round 15, a really, really good guy to have. Meat and potatoes type pick. Max Plath, 689k, priced at the 51 for him. I think with Maxi, you can just wait. The minutes that we're going to see from him in the 13 jersey, it looks like will probably be in the 50s for the most part. Can he continue to hit 46 tackles, 44 tackles like we saw the week before that? That was mainly on the edge there with some middle when Gilbert was missing. He had 50 minutes there in that Broncos clash. And if he didn't score, he had 2 offloads as well. So my little worries around him are if he's going to play 50-odd minutes in the lock position. Because if we do look to last year when he was at lock, let's go straight to the lock filter. He did play 62.6 minutes for a 51.7 average. So you'd need him this year to play some games at 80 and some games in the 50s for him to get somewhere near that minutes. And then you're getting basically this early 50 score. So just be aware of that with Plath. He's probably going to be the best hooker over the bye period.
Do you need to buy him now, or do you wait a little bit longer? Tedesco, he would really fix up the wing fullback position. A really tough one at that. 689k for him. Comes up against three pretty solid opponents. Penrith aren't too worrying right now. We've got the Dragons there, and then the Dolphins before a bye, but then a clean little run again. So Tedesco, a great pick, priced at 51. 2 scores below that so far, which is great to see. And the consistency there. He's a point of difference player that can get 80s on any given day. I had to mention Max King because I've had a few people ask about him and Leo Thompson, so people looking in the mids. Personally, I'd wait and try to select just the big dogs as much as you can. Whether that's selling Isaiah Yeo to an AFB or someone like that in that time, then it's probably the correct play. But King actually hasn't hit under 50 this year. 51 twice, a couple of 55s, a 56. He's absolutely flying, and not massive minutes either. 60 minutes was his last effort, but 50 minutes was his highest before that. So he's in great position right now to continue doing well, but we know that he's about a 50 guy in general, and he's probably overplayed it a little bit, and there will be 40s to come if he continues to go back to 50 minutes. An okay pick, basically. Wade Egan, a 679. Priced at 51 now. It's pretty crazy. He's playing 80 every week, doing a good job, basically hitting that outside of that one game where he scored a try. He's been really, really solid. And a guy you can definitely look at hooker. I personally have Plath just ahead of him because he has the duel as well. Not that we need too many more mids, but hey, in round 12, maybe you do end up with 2 hookers and Plath can slide down to mid for you. That could be fun and helpful. So Wade Egan, solid pick. Made all his money now, unfortunately. Wing fullback, Garrick, 678k. He's a guy that has just been really consistent. He's had a couple of lower scores, 41, 39, a 36. Back up to a 55 on the weekend. He's had that twice. He's had a 97. So a guy that you can trust, I think, on a week-to-week basis. He does miss a game in 3 weeks' time, which is in round 9, but he then plays all the way through until the second minor bye. They miss their next game. So I think he'll be a super important player through that bye period, and there's someone that I will look to target, but he's priced at 50 now. Can you buy him now? Yes. Would I go for Teddy or someone over him? Probably. For feeder. 668. If you don't buy him this week, it's going to be a scary watch. But we have seen the previous 3 weeks there. He went 55 minutes, 56, 65. He had a try in that first one for 39. He had a try assist in the second one for 46. So there's worries around him potentially going back and scoring a 50 or a 45 or something like that, even in 65 minutes. We actually saw him pull his sleeves up and put in some tackling work in that second to last game. 37 for 1 miss was great. Last week he had the 4 offloads. He had that ridiculous run where he broke 6 tackles, got a line break in there, and had an offload as well to set up that try. So that was like a 20-odd point play in itself. He won't do that every week. Can he have 10 tackle breaks and 4 offloads? Sometimes. Look at the meters gained in the other ones. He had 203 in this one. Very much an outlier game for the way he's played in those recent bunch of games, and also the back end of last year. He had 30s in the back end of last year. Yes, he can have 50s. You can see there 52, 54, 54. We could easily see that for him. We could easily see him go out and continue to dominate as well at being priced just around the 50 mark. So I just wanted to play devil's advocate a little bit around for feeder because we have seen a lot of games in a row now where he hasn't played very well. Dating back to last year, it was about 10 games in a row. It's just been bang average until the weekend where he finally broke free. They're not playing great either. He does come up against, Hudson Young and Matty Nicholson, Hosking, really good edges that he's going to come up against. They have a nice run of games for sure. I don't know if I'm going to get him, basically. I just wanted to think of all the downsides because we know it can be great. Probably looking like I'm going to get him in Supercoach and not in Fantasy at this point, just because it doesn't fit the situation, because we probably have a heap of edges, heap of mids right now, Do I need another one? I just bought Couchman last week. Do I need another one personally? Probably not. Do I sell another gun to get to him? Probably not. I need to fix up a certain position. So you might be in a different spot where you just say, no, I'm just getting him. Didn't get Couchman last week. I got Fogarty. Sweet, you fix that position. And you can go for Fafita now. Fletcher Sharp is 657. Team's just been poor. So you could easily just wait. He's priced at 49. Just wait and watch another week. Break even isn't anything crazy. Plays the Sharks this week. See how they go. If Knights look a lot better, then I think he's still a target for me over the next month of footy. They play all the way up until that final bye. So Knights are very interesting. Dylan Lucas on the radar as well when he comes back. But Fletcher Sharp definitely on the radar. But I think you just wait probably until the Knights get a little bit better. Jacob Kiraz. Good to have him back on the park. Priced at 47. Picked up a 44 round one with 5 offloads to hand, which is awesome. Still had 2 penalties and 3 errors, but he ran the footy plenty, tackle breaks, he offload, and did have a 1 try assist. So when he gets into the try scoring, then he's going to be awesome. If Lomax isn't back in time, there's a chance he plays wing in Origin, which would be absolutely deserved because he is an absolute jet and he's flying. But he could be great up until this point, and maybe he doesn't make Origin, and he's super helpful for your side with the dual position. He was great for us last year, averaging just a tick under 50. So definitely someone that can be on your radar. Do you want to buy another winger? It's Karaz. It's different. I think you probably look to buy him in a Supercoach sense more than fantasy right now. Dry Gray's actually been bought in by a fair few people coming off that 60. It's 3 weeks of tries in a row. He's averaging 50 for the season, priced at 46. My worry is that he could lose his spot to Latrell at any minute. So I'm going to say no, but you can definitely go for it. He continues to score well. So no from me. Leo Thompson, 602k, also another player that got mentioned for me to bring up. He's averaging 50 for the year, priced at 45. So there's a little bit of money to make. He has had 1 low score. He actually played 35 minutes. He then missed a bunch of time. In his 2 games back, 55 and 56, big minutes as well, 72 and 58. When they get a few of their guys back, I think that this number will go closer to the 50 mark. But he's been great. He's missed 2 tackles all year. A couple of tackle breaks as well in there, doing some good stuff on that front. I just can't see myself picking him. He has never taken the next leap. And I think that we can safely say that he probably won't be a 50-plus guy for the year. Might be a 48, 49, 50 guy, but it's only a little bit of a gain. Yes, he could help you for a while here, but personally, it's a no. I want to spend my cash on guys that can hit well over 50 in this section and get guys in wing fullback and half that can consistently get me around that 50 mark. Hammer. Kraken score last week. He's gone 52 into 91, just looking much better. And did pick up the 3 tries, 2 try savers, 2 turnover tackles. So massive game for him. Big run meters. Does come up against a Storm though. Then he goes, you're probably selling him round 12 to be fair, because he misses 12 and 13, which makes it a little bit tough. He hasn't looked involved until the last few weeks, so he could easily go back to what he was doing in the first few, which would make it tough. The Dolphins are playing better, but it's definitely something that you need to consider. If you are buying Hammer, that you probably sell him in 5 weeks, and is that worth it for your side? Pappenhausen, 583k for one of my fave players, and it's actually wild how low he's scoring, to be honest, for how many tries and assists and the like that he's had, along with the 7 goals a week for the last 2. A try assist on the weekend and 7 goals for 56. It's pretty wild, because those meters gained aren't very high. That's the worry with him. He gets errors. He has the odd penalty. He's going to miss the odd tackle. Scoring lots of tries. He's already had, he had 5 in that first 4 games and hit over 40 once when he got that 70 in the first game. So that's the wild thing with Pap. They have a pretty good run, and I think that he should be pretty good across this time. Should get close to the high 40s to 50. But do you want him long term? Missing around 12 and 15 doesn't help you there. I don't know. The scoring is more just the worrying side for me. Finally didn't score a try and still scored great, but he had other stats in tackle breaks and offloads. He just hasn't had that as much with the running, which is what you need in fantasy to do really well. Aaron Clark is at 5.39. The hook mid duel, the minutes has been a worry. Every single week he's been under 50 minutes. And it looks like even with Fish being out, that minutes was actually lower, which is crazy. But I do expect it to be closer to the 50, which is where we spoke about last week that he could be, if he gets his PPM up, which he has the last 2 weeks, he could be near a 50 guy. But you did see the first 3 weeks where he was under that number. The tackle breaks and the offloads have come back into his game. Will they stay? That's going to be the question. He's had more tackles, more tackle breaks, more offloads in the last 3 than we saw the first 3. Is it a trend, or is it something that we could see revert back to the mean? Priced at 40, you do need him to, in my opinion, probably average 45 for it to be a good trade going forward with the schedule they've got. He gets you all the way to around 15, so it doesn't have to be a top tier slam dunk 50 pick, but to cover that hooker position, to help you out in mids in certain weeks, he could be a really solid buy for you. Stafford Toa, 494k for him. He's sitting in there at the 37 price now, which is pretty crazy how that one has turned out. He scored so well. He's owned by a lot of people. He's gone 4 tries in the last 3 weeks, and the only game he didn't hit 50 was in round 2, and he had 2 try assists, but he didn't have a try in that one. What he's doing well so far is just getting decent tackle numbers. He's tackling well. He's offloading 1 a game and getting over 100 metres as well. And they're using him down that right-hand side, and he comes up against Para. Do you actually look to buy him this week, or is priced at 37 for a guy that has been about a 30, high 30s to 40 odds guy? Can you hold off on him now? With new halves combination as well, we'll see how that one plays out. Yeah, it's a hard one. It's going to be similar to Jackson Purgey this next week. Could you buy him? You can, but you're taking on more risk. AJ Brimson, 487k. He's been coming up on a few people's radars. Can you buy him? Yes. Has he scored 4 tries in the last 3 weeks? Yes. And had a couple of line breaks. Tackling better. Numbers on the weekend were crazy. 31 made, 3 turnover tackles as well. With a forced dropout. It's not going to happen every week. He's not going to score a try every week. But at 487k, got the duel with half now, can help you out there. Priced at 36. Can he average in the 40s? Easily. Yeah, for sure. We've seen it in the past. We're seeing some good scoring recently. I'll be playing him this week. Can you buy him? Yes. It's just a mid one, for sure. Adam Dewey, the man I'm excited about, just because we know how he scores in the halves. Lots of risks to this one. Does he keep the spot? We don't know. Is he going to score like he did years ago? That's the other question. He's kicking goals in a team that's pretty good. He comes up against Para this week. He has a pretty high break even, so I think he can easily wait the week. See if he keeps the half spot. Does he get into a position where they're going to trust him with it? They've got Latu Fainu out injured. Does he come back? There's lots of things on the negative side, but we know that when he plays in the 5'8" position, I think it's good to see that he's actually been named at 5'8". At halfback as well, because we know that he's probably going to take a bit of control on this side. That's actually way better, and these numbers at halfback were well into 2018 and 19. Even if he did score that, it's a 41. It's a 5-point improvement. But at 5'8", he's an absolute jet, averaging 60 in near the 80 minutes. So he's someone that's very, very interesting. Will he kick for 255 metres? Probably. Will he run for 117? Probably. I think he's going to be a fun pick in a better team. 2.6 goals a week could improve. And I'm very interested in Adam. And it may solve my half dilemma. Reece Walsh, 476k. We'll still have to have him in the potential buyers list because people said he has bottomed out in price. And at 35 now, it makes sense. Warriors, Dogs, Penrith the next three weeks. It's Warriors away from home as well. Warriors at home as well. I think you can do it. I still think it's a risk. Go for it if you like. Otherwise, don't. That's fine. Kitione Katonga, 428k. He's crushing it. And look, he's priced at 32. I think, can he average 42? Easily. He's hit over that the last 3 weeks. And last week was the big one. He increased his tackle numbers. He was looking to offload, which he has the last 2 weeks. He got 2 to hand last week. He's running more. He's gone 71 into 129 to 97 and played the full 80. I think he's a good guy to have. You can loop him next week. He plays round 12 in helping us out in the centre position. I think it's a good spot for Kitione. Making cash, playable in your 17, helpful in centre, a good guy to have. And I'm looking at him this week myself. Dylan Egan, if you didn't buy him, even if he's off the bench, I think you buy still at 30. He should be able to average you a 40 pretty comfortably, so just get him in. Lockie Hubner, probably the last chance. Priced at 31. If he scores in the 40s again, he gets up to about a 34 pricing, and then it is less worth it with him not playing round 12. Coming up against Melbourne next week. Dogs this week will be cool, but yeah, he scored really well. 47 minutes as well. It did go down, but he's tackling his heart out. 40 he made. Kaipi Paul. There you go. There's one out of order. 612k. He was scoring really well. When he got in. No, sorry. He's only played the 3 games there. Played 10 less with the sin bin for 44, but he's gone 52 and 52 in the other 2 games there. So the consistency is showing. He's priced at 46 though, so he's going to be a guy that can help you an edge. Are there other edges you want to look at though for this period, or do you lock in Kai now? Because I don't think you're selling him until probably the last final buy, unless he becomes a keeper. Riley Smith down to 330k, doing a solid job. Do you want to buy someone that's going to be likely a low 30s guys in these minutes? Does he start to play better with Mitch Moses? I think we wait the week if you don't own currently. Halasima, 321k, gets the start this week, has got a few decent scores there. 28's his lowest in the last 3, has been scoring tries. I don't think you jump on. I think Kurt Capewell probably slides back to edge very, very quickly. Valmarga in the same team, still unsure on Fish and how long he's going to be out for. But Valmarga, the last 2 games for them, he's gone more minutes, 29 and 41, and gone 30 and 47 for points. So he could definitely make money. Do you want another edge? Do you want to edge at a cheap price point? If so, then I think you can trust now that he should get some good minutes with Fish out, at least for the interim. And then Hugo Savala, the best cash cow of the week. He played great, tackled his butt off, and kicked for 478 metres and kicked well. So I think Savala can be very, very helpful. Just be aware that by the time sort of round 13, 14, 15 comes, he will likely lose his spot to Sam Walker when he returns from his injury. So keep that in mind, but he did a great job. If you need someone at 230k, get Hugo in. He was awesome in that first game, and he should continue to be that way. It's going to be a fun clash against Penrith. But they're my best buys of the week, guys. All the options that you want to be going through. I hope that helped you guys in your quest to use those 3 trades this week. Stick around for the holds and the sells that you'll see a little bit later. Can't wait to talk to you in that next one. See you guys. Have a good one.